actually a mechanical engineering major from
Okay.
Georgia Tech. Went out into the corporate America, worked for a few years there,
Mhm.
and was lucky enough to get a promotion into management fairly early in my career. And that's when I learned pretty quickly that I knew nothing about business. My college experience was all engineering classes. They didn't
Mhm.
even let you take business electives. So I quickly learned that business was not in my knowledge base there. So.
What's up, everybody? It is your host with the most, ready to vlog and post, Mr. I Am Cash, bringing a brand new series called Executive Ambitions. And I want to thank you guys for joining me on today. But before we go any further, make sure you like, share, subscribe to the page, man, because we are going to be talking to some awesome business folk. And of course, today I have an awesome person with me right now. Of course, on my show, I like to have everybody introduce themselves because
Mhm.
nobody can introduce you quite like you can. The floor is all yours.
All right, my name is Tim Martin. I'm a professor at Georgia Tech,
Oh yeah.
and long and winding road to get there, but
Oh yeah.
I'm very happy to be there and love it. Enjoy teaching kids in the business school there.
I know that's real. As a educator as well, as you
Hmm.
know, I heard an amazing story that you have,
Hmm.
so I'm not gonna spoil that. So I just for this we just wanted to see how business looks for you. A lot of people have their different industries and their different niches. I'm in the media game, you're in the education game, especially at the collegiate level. So my first question to you is, what is your specific role at Georgia Tech, so people kind of know
Yes, I'm a professor at the Scheller College of Business.
business.
So I teach both undergrads and the MBA program.
So, in the beginning, I guess we could start from college. Let's start from
Hmm.
the beginning. How did
Oh
how did you
yeah.
get into this?
So I'm actually a mechanical engineering major from
Okay.
Georgia Tech. Went out into the corporate America, worked for a few years there,
Mhm.
and was lucky enough to get a promotion into management fairly early in my career. And that's when I learned pretty quickly that I knew nothing about business. My college experience was all engineering classes. They didn't
Mhm.
even let you take business electives. So I quickly learned that business was not in my knowledge base there. So
Yeah.
I went back to school. I went back to Georgia Tech to get my executive MBA
Okay.
to learn about business. And it was there that I met a professor who was looking for students to come back and do some guest lecturing for one of her undergrad classes.
Mhm.
And at the time, I was deathly afraid of public speaking. I mean, you could not pay me to get in front of people to speak,
Uh-huh.
but I knew enough that if you want to continue in the business world and rise up the corporate ladder, you have to be good at public speaking. You have to
Yes.
be able to speak not in maybe small meetings, larger meetings, presentations. You have to be able to speak in public. So it was, she asked for volunteers, and before I could talk myself out of it, I said, "This is going to be good practice, because I've got to get used to it. I've got to
Mhm.
get better at it." So I sent her an email before class was over and said, "I'm interested." And so we set it up, and I went a couple months later and did the guest lecture. Amazingly, she thought I did good. Not sure how, but I have a lot of good experience, I guess. It was good for the students, and she just kept asking me to come back, and we ended up developing a really close relationship for about 5 or 6 years.
Mhm.
We did some other stuff together as well. And when a full-time professorship opened up at Georgia Tech, she called me up and said, "Hey, I think you'd be good at this if you're ever thinking about a career change."
Yeah.
And at that time, I was traveling quite a bit. I was working for a company that had offices all over the globe, so I was going, to Europe and Asia, and it sounds wonderful and exciting, but when you have young kids at home,
It's hard.
and when you're tall, being on an airplane for 8 or 10 hours
Oh
is
yeah.
not that fun. So I thought about it, and I said, maybe it's time for a career change. And so I went, and she really helped me kind of pull me through the interview process, and her recommendation was really helpful to for me to get that job. So I made the transition.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And amazing story to share. So once you got into that, what was like your first and your earliest challenges?
Yeah, it was very interesting because they hired me at the beginning of summer. They told me, okay, you got the job, but they didn't tell me what classes I was going to teach until like the end of July, when classes started mid-August. And they were just like, hey, here are your classes. Here's your classrooms.
Mm,
Go for it. So there was like no oversight, no training. I was kind of on my own, and it's been that way ever since. They give you a lot of autonomy there.
mm,
I mean, it's not like corporate America where you have people telling you, hey, do this, do this, do this. There's very little oversight and management because they really want you to teach the way you think, that subject should be taught. So it was a really big challenge that first semester, coming up with the material
mm.
for 16-week long semester,
Yeah.
twice a week, and being in front of very smart students who are very inquisitive, who have a lot of questions. That was definitely scary. But if you're afraid of public speaking and you want to, get over that fear, being a professor is going to get you over that really
Oh yeah.
fast.
Well, anything I've learned over the years too, like you're saying, whether it's big or small, a lot of times anything that comes with managerial or administration, you're going to have some kind of speaking skills the
Yes.
majority of the time.
Yes.
So I used to try to deck it, but I don't now because a lot of times back in the day I was a preacher's kid, so I
Okay.
always had to talk.
Yeah, 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 sure,
So
sure.
I kind of scaled back, and then I ended up getting back, talking again in front of the camera. So here we
Mm-hmm.
are.
Yeah,
So I get it.
yeah.
What really helped you? What pushed you or helped you push through? Getting through those first few challenges. Because as an educator, I was the same way. Because I was like, I don't know what to do. But now, after you go through it so many times, you can just kind of recycle certain things and kind
Mm-hmm.
of plug in, where you need to. So, what was your biggest thing, or what is it that you had to do to kind of that helped you through that?
Yeah, actually, I really relied on my experience, which is a lot different. Most professors go through school, they get their doctorate, and then they go straight to teaching.
Yes.
So they've never actually worked.
Hmm.
They're teaching about business, but they've never actually worked in business.
In the field. Yeah.
And I was completely different. And so I brought a lot of my experience and things that, I did right, a lot of things I did wrong.
Hmm.
I don't use a textbook. I never used a textbook in any of my classes I've ever taught.
Okay.
It's all about like what businesses are really doing, based on my experience at my company, other companies that I've dealt with over the years. So it's all about like what real businesses do, and students loved that. I found that really quickly. They were really, really interested in what businesses are actually doing,
Yeah.
not what some textbook is talking about, some theories.
Yes.
So it was, I got a lot of good feedback early on in my career,
Mm.
and so that really pushed me to say, okay, I'm on the right track.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It was validation.
And doing that, how did you start like really gaining traction to where you like, hey, I think I got this. The kids are understanding what I'm bringing towards them, and because you are bringing that different type of feel, because we are so used to a textbook,
Hmm.
how did they accept that?
I would say the true validation really came once I was there for a few years, and students that I taught had graduated and started working,
Mm.
and I would hear from them like a year or two after they were already in corporate America and say, "Hey, I just wanted to thank you because what you were taught, what you taught in class, we're using that stuff every day."
That's powerful.
And so that was the true validation, is that they're actually using this stuff once they graduate. So it's
Mm.
not just academic exercise where you're just doing some homework just to check
Mm.
the box, that you understand some of the basics. Like they're like, hey, this is actually really really good information, that's helping me in my career. So that was, and I still hear from students. That's the best thing that happens, is when you hear from a student who's graduated and they thank you, for helping them in their career. That there's nothing like that.
Yes, I will say, especially when I get to talk to parents and parents give you that, hey man, we wouldn't have been able to do this without you type
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a fulfilling
it
thing.
is. Yeah.
In doing that, I'm sorry, what do people not realize about you and your path? Like, is there something particular?
I would say, getting to where I am today, it wasn't like a straight line. Like there was,
Yes,
to get to a point where you're at in your career that you're really comfortable, you have to go through a lot of uncomfortable moments.
correct.
And that's where growth really comes from. It comes from pushing yourself and
Yeah,
getting out of your comfort zone. I'm an engineer, and now I'm teaching in a business
business.
school. And I was deathly afraid of public speaking, and now I do it twice a week, in 5 or 6 classes for 16 straight weeks. You have to push yourself. You have to kind of go above and beyond and say, if I'm going to grow as a person and get better, I've got to do something that I may not like. I may not be
Yes.
comfortable with. It's not going to be easy. So I'm gonna practice public speaking. I'm gonna learn a new subject. Whatever it may be, you gotta kind of extend yourself, and it's
Yeah.
not comfortable to do so. It's hard, but that's the only way to grow and really separate yourself from all the other people who are just going to be like, I'm okay, I'm comfortable. If you want to beat them in corporate America, you got to go the extra
Yeah.
mile. I don't really live to work. I
Yeah.
work to live.
Yes.
I love spending time at home. I got a lot of interest outside of work. So even when I was in corporate America, I wasn't gonna burn the midnight oil at the office.
Yeah.
I was gonna go home and spend time with the family. And that's really the biggest benefit of being a professor is the time. I have so much time now I can spend with the family. I can take the kids to school. I can pick them up from school. I'm there to help them with their homework. So that's just the icing on the cake.
To all my business owners, entrepreneurs, and business leaders, this message is for you. Be sure to sign up for the Executive Ambitions Business Spotlight Series. Now, this is a business series that highlights your brand and takes it to the next level. For everyone that partakes in the Executive Ambition Spotlight business interviews, you will receive free access to the Executive Ambitions Business Club. This is a club that meets once a month that gives you an opportunity for first come, first served sign up for panel speaking opportunities, business networking, and discounted media for your brand. Not only that, you will be added to our business and community directory. This gives you access to our upcoming events, sponsorship, and vendor opportunities. But most importantly, the person with the most views will be asked to attend our 2027 Mecca Conference. This conference is all about finances, marketing, and how we really do business. But most importantly, it gives you center stage to represent your brand. Do you have what it takes to have executive ambitions? Be sure to sign up today.
Style. Style is the answer to everything. A fresh way to approach a dull or dangerous thing. To do a dangerous thing with style is what I call art.
Most people say if you want to be successful, do all the things you hate. And
That's right. Yeah, I mean, I can think even early in my career, I was given the opportunity to be the manager of our engineering department. I was the youngest person in the department at the
wow.
time. Um, and the reason why is because whenever we would get a project in and it would be with a really difficult client that nobody wanted to work with,
Mm,
I would volunteer.
yeah.
When a project just went completely haywire and the customer's upset and the engineer who was working on it's like, I don't want to deal with this anymore, I'd say, I'll take it over.
Mm,
If that's how you get noticed. You do the hard things, and then all of a sudden your manager's like, wow, this person is really somebody I can depend on. They're not just doing the easy stuff; they're taking on the hard stuff for me. So when that person left, it was like, hey, this person is ready to go.
yeah.
So yeah, even in your job, you got to get out your comfort zone. You got to take on that hard
Very much
stuff.
so.
Volunteer for those projects no one else wants to do.
Yeah. Very much so. Now, you got all this down. How are you able to have discipline enough and balance yourself? Because you got a lot of family.
Yeah, I got a lot of family. Yeah, I got 4 kids at home. And I've always been somebody who said, I don't really live to work. I
Yeah.
work to live.
Yes.
I love spending time at home. I got a lot of interest outside of work. So even when I was in corporate America, I wasn't gonna I wasn't gonna, burn the midnight oil at the office.
Yeah.
I was, gonna go home and spend time with the family. And that's really the biggest benefit of being a professor is the time. I have so much time now I can spend with the family. I don't travel anymore.
Yeah.
I'm home a lot. I can take the kids to school. I can pick them up from school. I'm there to help them with their homework. So that's just the icing on the cake.
It makes a difference because, like right now, it's over with now. I just had a 4 month contract with Puma going around town,
Hmm.
and I was like, I think after the fourth trip, I was like, I don't want to do this no more. But
Yeah,
but you know,
yeah.
you got to go.
That's right. That's right.
um, what lesson has shaped you the most throughout this entire journey?
Um, I would say, we touched on it before, but be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yes.
Find things that you know are good for you, that are going to help you in your career, whether it's continuing education, going back to school. Nobody wants to go back to school.
No.
And, after you graduated that undergrad degree, you don't want to go back, but that's how you get better. That's how you grow. That's how you get that job you want. That's how you get that raise you want.
Mm,
It's not just going to be given to you. I tell the undergrads a lot. I kind of use the analogy. We've all heard the phrase, when opportunity knocks, open the door.
yes.
Well, when you open the door, it's not going to be a higher salary and a promotion just standing there waiting for you.
Yeah.
It's more work. The opportunity is more work on that, doing that extra project at your office, or taking on that hard client. That's the opportunity you take to get that promotion and get noticed, to get that raise, and,
Yeah.
and move forward in your career.
Yeah. Cause see, once you get that diploma, you just think, man, I'm good. You gonna
Yeah,
get a
you're
job.
done. Yeah,
Oh
that's when
my
your learning
God.
starts.
I tell mine all the
You know,
time.
I know this is going online, but colleges don't like to really advertise this, but 80% of what you need to know to be successful in your job,
Hmm.
you learn on
On
the
the
job.
job. Yeah.
So your education kind of starts when you graduate. It doesn't end when you
Yeah.
graduate.
So that's crazy, man. But I mean, that's just the way life works. And I had to get over that hump. But first, especially when I got out of there, I was able to go into AutoCAD doing architectural precast.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
AutoCAD at that time, but you know, we were at that time, Bush was in office and we were going into war. So I only had about 2 years under my belt before, you know, they were laying everybody off because they were
Yeah.
doing jobs for pennies on the dollar at the time. So nobody wanted to take anything, but at the
Hmm.
same time, nobody wanted to work because they didn't want to mess up the unemployment.
Right. That's right.
So
Yeah.
it was crazy.
Yeah.
Um, and doing this, what uh do you have anything that you're building on right now, like any other projects that's outside of like Georgia Tech or any of those type
Yeah, I
things?
have my own consulting company,
Okay.
so I deal with a lot of firms at Georgia Tech. So I do stuff through Georgia Tech, or on my own. It helps me, stay relevant, see what businesses are doing, how they're operating,
Mhm.
and I use a lot of that stuff back in my classrooms for topics, as well as helping companies out. So I do some consulting
Okay.
with some businesses here around Atlanta.
That is great, great, great. Now, this has been an amazing opportunity for me, and on every show, we're towards the end.
Hmm.
I want to tell you very much so. I am very proud of your success, man. That's the story is great. You know, just to be a college professor is a lot. And like I have a cousin who's like a athletic director for Boston College.
Okay.
And I praise him all the time. I'm like, man, you prestigious, man. You go ahead, you.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
So, and then on top of that, the work that you guys do and the things that you do for these kids is very, very important too. You know what I'm saying? Our livelihood, the culture, our economics, and all those type of things. And then on top of that, some of the great things that you have brought to the classroom, because you know when we get that diploma, they give us this creative idea, creative buzz when you get into education. But then when you get there, they have this cookie cutter
Hmm.
thing to, hey, check this off, and do it exactly like this.
Yeah.
So what I like the most is that you're approaching it from a different thing and approaching it from the life perspective, because a lot of times kids, especially our younger generation now, they're not at the same level we were as kids. And you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
each generation gets a little bit, you know, wonkier. But
yeah, yeah.
even with it said, like for your accomplishments, wonderful and marvelous job. So I just want to make sure I commend you on that.
Yeah, I appreciate
Oh
that.
yeah, for sure. Last two questions,
All right.
because you are a consultant and all that stuff, and we all about business. We want to make sure that we support you and your brand.
Hmm.
So is there an email or websites, phone number, anything that we need to do so we can support your brand or whatever you got, so people can get in contact with you for business? They might want to lecture from you.
They might, yeah. You can. My personal email is tim.martin.pe@gmail.com,
Okay.
and then yeah, we can connect, and I can help you out if you need some help with your business. I'm happy to see what I can do for you.
All right. Hey, you heard it here first at Executive Ambitions. All right, last question. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Okay, last question. Who is somebody you think would be a great guest for us to have on the show so we could reach out to
Um, I know a lot of small people, small owners of small companies.
them?
If you're interested in small companies,
Very much so.
got a lot of contacts at Chick-fil-A as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
Everybody loves
obviously
Chick-fil-A.
everybody loves Chick-fil-A. I mean, nobody does service like Chick-fil-A.
No.
So, yeah, I can definitely give you some names.
Well,
Depending on what you're kind of interested in.
we're
Yeah,
interested in anybody's business and anybody's niche because everybody has something different. Nobody follows the same path.
yeah,
So
that's right.
it's
That's right.
always good to hear how you got to your success. So these are always the best stories to ever have because like I get to hear some of the greatest stories because sometimes I'm like, what happened to you?
Yeah, that's right.
And just like with your story, your wife was telling me about it. I was like, I'm gonna get him on camera one day.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know, but
absolutely.
I gotta wait till I get all my stuff together and get my ducks in a row. And we finally got it. So I just want again, I want to commend you and I want to tell you thank you so much for being here on our
Yeah,
episode of
I
Executive
appreciate it.
Ambitions.
It's great.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Hey, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you follow up with Mr. Tim Martin. Great guy, great businessman. And if you are looking to spotlight or highlight your business, make sure you get in contact with Hemp Entertainment or with Media's Real Inc., which is powered by Hemp Entertainment. We want to give a shout out to QB Films, our engineer, for taking care of us on today. And again, like always, our special guest, Mr. Martin. Hey man, y'all stay tuned, man. We'll catch you next time.